Hey everyone, it's Kenny with The Leetist. I wanted to pop in at the beginning here and say thank you for making it to our episode 2 here and hanging with me as I learn this podcasting stuff and have the audio quality getting better and better each time. Obviously, this one is the best sounding so far, so I hope it sounds nice and crispy clean in your ears. If you want to help support the show, subscribe to it. Leave a comment. Both those things help a lot with getting the podcast heard and seen by a lot more peoples. Remember, you can always send us your own ideas for games about games, your trivia questions, your debate topics, TheLeetistPod at gmail.com, at TheLeetist on Twitter. Let the show begin. Welcome to the Leetist Podcast. Once again, I am Kenny. Joined with me is the Glenn Humplick to my Tom Green, Tim.
Hey,
hello, Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hey, it's Tim. How's everybody doing tonight? Great.
And once again, I guess he would be that other guy in the window on the Tom Green show, whatever his name was, Ryan.
I love the fact that you're giving that obscure reference that people may like. If people remember the Tom Green show, listening to this show, kudos.
Well, since we are a podcast that is games about games, I'll throw a quick non-gaming trivia. First question: what was that guy's name in the window?
Wasn't he played by Larry Fishburne?
I think you're thinking of Cowboy Curtis.
Fair enough.
Yes, we were looking for Cowboy Curtis. Yes.
I actually don't know for sure, but I think his name was Phil. I'm 90% sure on that.
It was probably Phil. Sure. Listeners, what do you think? Send us
Anyway.
Go ahead and call in and let us know.
We're taking live answers, recorded live.
You did give them your number out, right, Ryan?
Yeah, every day. Every day. I'm
back from E3 weekend, and it was a fun-filled festival of games.
Yes, it was.
They had stuff to show and things.
There was a lot of stuff shown, and I think on the docket today we'll go through some of the most anticipated things for each of us that we saw over the weekend. And I think I have another E3-themed little short thing to do, and then we'll get to a trivia game made by Ryan himself.
Hey.
Finally going to have you guys pit off against each other. So,
yes.
My God, prepare for that.
Debate war will rage on later as well. And I think to kick it off here, we'll get into... actually, I want to make a correction that you brought to my attention from the last episode when I said that ghost is from the moon. It's actually that wizard is from the moon. And I'm so pissed that I messed that up, because that was one of my favorite lines from Destiny.
Well, somewhere Peter Dinklage is just... I mean,
Rolling
I thought
over
that
in
was...
his grave.
I thought we were... Yeah, God rest his soul. God rest his soul, Peter Dinklage.
Next episode. We gotta talk about something we said last episode. Peter Dinklage is not dead.
Peter Dinklage apparently alive and well, making more movies than I knew he was making. So
I have to actually do a correction from last time, too, on the trivia question. The first one from Platformers, I said it was a 2018 game. I did some re-Googling, and Hollow Knight was a 2017 game. So you were right to be skeptical, Kenny.
That's what cost him the points on that one. The
Definitely.
1 year makes all the difference for that game.
Absolutely.
As we wait for Silk Knight, which is
so I'm going to give you
10 years.
I'm going to give you one retroactive point, and you still lost.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Good job, Kenny.
Well, with all the listener feedback we got, all the outrage about the debate I lost last time, we'll have to maybe throw that point to me at some point as well. But let's go ahead and start with E3-themed festivities here, and we'll talk about, I think we each picked a few things that we're excited for from E3.
Yeah,
and
mostly we were right. It was amazing. I mean, like everything we predicted, we were,
Oh, yeah. We were on point.
We were I was bullseye after bullseye on this one.
I almost got one right if I just flipped it around, because I said Switch Pro, no Breath of the Wild, but we got Breath of the Wild, no Switch Pro. So
yeah, that's the dyslexic in you. It's all good.
Yeah, well,
I got
the predictions
nothing that I wanted.
You know, we were like bullshitting about like fake predictions, talking about Kojima, and he did not, in fact, reveal himself to be the resurrected Jesus Christ, but he did compare his next game to being as intense as 9/11.
That's right, he did. He said it
Once-
like multiple times. It
Once
was
again,
so awkward.
proving that any Kojima prediction is not too wild. I think.
Was this in regards to the deluxeified version of Death Stranding, or was this like in the new project that apparently he's working on? Like,
Yeah, he was talking about his next project, saying that it was.
oh,
Like,
okay.
Yeah, going into I don't even know what he said.
I can't go into any details, but I will show you this special video where Norman Reedus gets into a box.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think we need to go one by one through all the predictions.
A
we went
lot
through.
of me just. I mean, I did not want to, but it just predict. I'm just seeing Norman Reedus on a plane in his next game, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah, Norman Reedus in a box with Metal Gear music. It's so confusing. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think we need to go one by one through all of our wrong predictions, but
Just listen to our last episode.
Yeah, you can listen to our last
and
episode.
you'll know
that
how
was
wrong
wrong. That
we
was
were.
wrong. That was wrong
Man.
too.
no mention of Chrono Trigger,
Yeah.
no streaming box from Xbox, things of that nature. Why don't we go through and talk about
Point out all the ones that I got wrong.
those are the ones that just came to my mind. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
no Steam-based console
There
that I
you
thought
go.
was going to be a handheld.
Yeah, I guess Microsoft didn't introduce a PS4 exclusive.
It was not out of the realm of possibility for Bethesda to say that Deathloop was coming out, since it's their game.
It's
That's all
true.
I'm saying.
Moving on.
Moving on, what are three things? We'll go around in a circle, starting with you, Tim.
Okay.
If you want to go in order of hype, what are your three most hyped things from E3 that you saw? In any order, you please.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so I have three hypes, and the hypes are from knowing the franchises a little bit and getting excited about it, and then I have two other ones that are just like skeptical. I hope these are good. They sound kind of neat. So those two, I hope they're good. They sound kind of neat. Was Contraband. I mean, I have no idea what it was. It was a co-op open world game that had Steely Dan music. So I mean.
Yeah,
I liked
that was
everything I
pretty
saw
cool.
about that.
From the developers of Just Cause. So
Yeah, it
I'm
could be just
happy
like a
with that.
fun, goofy game. And then Replaced looked amazing. I mean, that 2D action adventure platformer with a really cool art style. I'm pretty excited about that. So those two are I'm like, those I hope those are cool. And I'll come back round to them when I see more info about them.
Early.
But as far as the things I'm excited about, because I got to actually see a little bit of the gameplay, or I'm familiar with the franchises or whatever. The first one actually surprised me that I thought of was the Guardians of the Galaxy. I would have thought that would have just kind of flown over my radar or whatever, and I'd have ignored it. But since they showed off all that gameplay for it, it looked really fun. Looked funny. It looked like an engaging game. It looked like a solid beat 'em up where you get to control a bunch of other people at once, and I don't know. It seems like a pretty cool game to me. So
I am right there with you, and I actually considered putting that in one of my three, and it might even be if I have to pick a top three. But yeah, it gave me real big Devil May Cry 5 vibes, which I love that game, and it seemed like Devil May Cry 5 vibe with added a little bit more RPG stuff, and that's definitely up my alley. It seemed like there's like dialogue choices too sometimes, weren't there? I don't know if those would affect anything.
Yeah, it looked like
but
it.
Who knows? Yeah.
look like dialogue choices that also like affect how your other players feel or the other members feel about you or whatever, which might have storyline implications and stuff, which could be really cool.
Sure.
The next one that I'm excited about is Plague Tale Requiem. I've been trying to get everybody I know to play the first Plague Tale forever, and I really like the story. I really like the gameplay. I thought it was really unique. I thought it was really cool and dark and twisted and pretty messed up. So I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to come up with for the next game. I don't know if anybody else.
I definitely enjoyed playing that game. I did not finish it. It's on the very long list of games that I didn't finish. But next time, I go on and off of having Game Pass, like depending on what's out. Next time I get Game Pass, I think I'm going to flip that one back on and finish it because it was definitely interesting.
That one was on Game Pass, and like typical Game Pass games for me, I played it for about 15 minutes and said, "This is cool," but now I have a billion other games I can try. Did not really get through too much of it, but
I highly recommend you guys, go through and finish that game. The story just keeps getting better and richer and deeper and weirder.
My question is this: is it mostly a protect a person, kind of like have them follow you kind of game where you're having
No.
Okay. Because
it's not.
The beginning portion's like that, so I didn't.
Yeah,
know
like getting them out of there, getting them out of that opening area kind of thing. Yes,
Yeah.
is like that. But no, it doesn't stay that way.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I definitely vividly recall the game when I had Game Pass at the time that took me away from that was Slay the Spire, which I got totally addicted to and loved. So
Fantastic.
I hear that happens to people. I've never played it, so I guess
My
I should
God,
put that
man.
on my list of
Yeah,
things
that
to get
was-
addicted to.
That was my top. I think it was 2019 game. For me, I freaking love that game.
yeah, it's a great one.
So the last one on my list is I'm going to pretend that I'm excited about Metroid Dread because I had to think about it, and I don't think I am. I don't think I'm excited about Metroid Dread. I was excited about a Metroid Prime game and like a 3D reinventing, reimagining. Give me something new and big, and I didn't get it. I got a side-scrolling Metroid game that looks a lot like the Metroid 2 remake that was on DS. So that's not exciting to me. So instead, I'm going to give Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Even though I never played her DLC or whatever, the video for it looked cool, and I love D&D, so maybe it'll be something I like. Boom, there it is. There's my list.
All right. Yeah, I agree with Tiny Tina. That was actually my absolute favorite Borderlands content ever was that Tiny Tina DLC because it was so clever, awesome D&D comedy that worked really well, I thought, in most moments. There's some cheesy stuff in it too. But it was a great time, and I can't wait to play that game, or see what it is at least. I think it's going to be just like a Borderlands game. I don't know how much different it's going to be, but who knows?
It does not have the moniker Borderlands on the title, though.
That
It's
is
just
true.
Tiny Tina, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we will see. All right, Ryan, what you got?
Well, of course, the number one for me was learning about diversity in the Take-Two Interactive convention. That was that game that they were talking about how we should all look at diversity in the workplace and how we're going to coalesce and do stuff with that. I mean, that was fantastic. I have to give it
Sounds
up
like
to
a
that.
different game, at least a unique.
Oh my
kind of,
God! Yeah,
sounds like
no.
it. Hey guys, sounds like an interesting co-op.
It was actually an HR exclusive.
Take Two or Bandai Namco? I thought it was. I can't remember.
It was Take-Two Interactive that was doing.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
okay.
Bandai Namco. No, Bandai Namco's was one game. Which
That's
was
right. That's right.
The which was one of those.
Oh yeah, Twitter was shitting all over them for just having one game.
Yeah, how dare you? You had but they showed up. They did show off Elden Ring, which
Better than Take-Two.
I'm sure that is something that's on Kenny's list for the hype.
Who knows?
Who knows? For me, I definitely Metroid Dread. I know Tim kind of poo-poos the idea of a third-person Metroid. I love nothing more than third-person Metroid. I did not really play the Prime games, but the third-person ones are my jam. So that one coming out of nowhere, and especially with taking up that name that had been rumored for years, and just bringing it full circle. I mean, bravo, Nintendo. That really did. The whole Nintendo press conference, I was kind of lolling a little bit, and then they hit that, and I was like, all right, we're in it. We're in it.
We're cooking now.
Let's do it. And then it'll get pushed back 3 years. It's all good. I think I liked the Microsoft press conference specifically. Obviously, Todd Howard coming out, especially at the beginning of the conference, to just hit you with Starfield, which, again, the problem is we're not getting anything from it. You might as well have shown a picture of a ham and cheese sandwich, which they did in the trailer, because it doesn't tell you anything. We knew it was already in space, so there's really not anything other than a release date that they gave us. But I think the big whammy for me for that was the fact that they also said that was Xbox exclusive. I think that's the first one of the Bethesda titles to hit the exclusive for Xbox, and a big title at that. So, yeah, very interesting times ahead.
I'm sure there'll probably be some before Starfield, but that's the first one they've confirmed for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought that was very interesting, and I think that in terms of actual general surprises, I'm going to throw this one out, and you guys are going to horribly disagree, but Final Fantasy, what is it called? The Dream Deferred,
Origin.
whatever. The Bandai Namco, the kind of joint adventure with Team Ninja, or it was Team Ninja rather.
Yeah.
Team Ninja joint with Final Fantasy. It like the trailer, obviously hilarious. Everything was chaos, and I loved it. The demo came out shortly after that, and I tried it out, and it is crazy good.
Oh, I'm really interested about that then, because I wasn't sure how to feel about that trailer. I mean, I know I'm a Souls guy, but I was intrigued by it. It kind of looked a little bland to me, but yeah, what's the demo like?
So the idea of the game is you basically take the concept of what Neo is, which is what they've really kind of dealt with, and they blend it into Final Fantasy world. But what I'm really interested in is they brought the class system into this game.
Really?
So you can be different classes based on which weapons you're using. So if you're using a sword, you'll be a warrior. If you're using the javelin, you're a lancer. And you also have prestige versions of those classes as you level it up to get to the higher ones. And you can program combos between the class abilities in them. So it's like if you press R2, you can do a combo from one and spin it into another. And it flowed so well. The thing is, the trailer didn't give you much. The demo really gives you.
It was
a good
pretty
feel.
chaotic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to
Chaos.
feel, but yeah, I do know that Team Ninja. I mean, Neo. I love Neo, so I expect it. Some sort of quality out of that. So I'm actually kind of hyped to go check that demo out myself now.
Yeah,
sounds cool.
And it didn't really bode well because when the demo first hit, there was actually a bug in the demo and it wouldn't launch. No one could get into the demo.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they had to patch it to allow you to get in there. So like everything was pointing to, wow, this game. But when I tried it out, and I got to try it out last night, just demo went through, it surprised me at how in-depth the game mechanics are. Now, the graphics, man, why is it running on a PS5? It might as well be running on a PS3. And it does have frame rate dips like crazy, but it is also very early in development. So who knows? I think that, but that one is definitely one to look out for. I'm going to keep my eyes on it because it's a far more accessible Souls-like game, and that's kind of my jam.
I will be looking out.
All right. Cammy, what about you, buddy?
I'm surprised neither of you said Breath of the Wild 2.
That's too easy.
Yeah,
that's why I kept it off my list too, because it was too easy, right?
I think we can all agree that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be great, blah, blah, blah. Kenny, what did you like?
Okay, I had a couple of those on. I had a list of a few, and I was going to pick 3 of them when I'm sitting here, so that's what I'm going to do, depending on what you guys said, for the sake of conversation. Like I said, I had Guardians on there. That looks awesome. Devil May Cry, sweet. Breath of the Wild. Metroid Dread. I am pretty hyped for Metroid Dread. Like I said, the only Metroid I played is the first one, and I liked it, and I loved Axiom Verge, so I think I'll definitely play it. Tribes of Midgar, the Valheim-looking game. Looks pretty sweet to me.
That
one does.
Cool.
Yeah, that one definitely had. I mean, it's Valheim kind of with this interesting, more like seems like dynamic defend your base kind of mechanic.
Yeah, it's like tower defense almost version of Valheim. I don't think it's okay to just call it a Valheim game though, because the top down type view takes away from things that are pretty important to Valheim, and that's the dynamic crafting and stuff like that, and building all these crazy, ridiculous structures and stuff that definitely Tribes of Midgard, I think, won't have, at least in anywhere near as expansive.
Yeah, you're probably right. Me and Tim had a crazy 2 or 3 weeks with Valheim. We went nuts on that. I built an awesome lighthouse. It was a good time. Somerville.
It was a great lighthouse.
Somerville is the game that it was a side scroller that kind of looked like Inside, and then we found out it was made from a dev who also worked on from Playdead Studios.
First
Do you know Patty?
game from this studio, but it's from those developers. Yeah, that alien like structures that are coming in, and you're kind of like a family. It looks like playing the game.
Yeah, that looked really cool to me. Death Stranding and Tiny Tina, we talked a little bit about those. You guys don't care about Death Stranding. So my number one will obviously be Elden Ring. I think after the Elden Ring trailer, nothing was as exciting to me for the entire weekend. I mean, I had a good time, but yeah, I'm so pumped to play Elden Ring.
Trust me, folks, he didn't stop talking about it.
Yeah,
I mean, the game looks pretty good, but it doesn't look as good as Elden Ring.
Do you think that if it gets to that kind of degree or level that Bloodborne or Dark Souls hit, are we going to call them like Souls-born rings or games, or are we going to call them like? Because
I don't know. I think it's established at this point that a Souls-born type game is now a type of like Neo is a Souls-born type game. You know what I mean?
Or they just call them Souls-like, but yeah,
or Souls-like, yeah, just like roguelike, because that was named after Rogue. So.
Yeah, I've had conversations with people on Twitter and stuff about like. There's a big sect of gamers out there that like see these games and how pumped people get for them and don't really get it because they've tried it for a couple hours and it was like, I'm so not into this and I do not understand why people are into this, right? And I think there's obviously, Tim, you finished Bloodborne, right?
Yeah. No, I know why people get all hyped about him.
Yeah, well, there's the obvious thing about like the thrill of beating a boss that takes you a long time to beat and that
it's a drug.
It's literally a drug.
It does feel like a drug.
It gets like chemicals flowing in your brain that make you incredibly happy and excited and
but I also think
at the same
time. Think there's like a nostalgia thing there for old Nintendo style games because it's like every discovery in that game is like a tiny version of that rush because I guess they call it non-handholdy. Like everything you figure out yourself in that game that they don't tell you is like it's like the true exploration that you're discovering things yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's kind of
that's definitely that's definitely a cool aspect of it. As long as you can figure those things out, you know what I mean. There's some games that you'd never know unless you looked it up or saw a guide or something like that. But those games just happen to give you just enough that you can kind of figure out how to use things in combination.
Yeah. I love them. I can't wait for Elden Ring. It looks crazy. It looks like a Souls game. It looks like a giant Dark Souls, which is what I want. Okay, let's see.
He's frothing. He's frothing, Ryan. You have to put him down.
Man, I mean, I really wish I could be into those games. I mean, like, I like the accessible ones. Neo, to me, was an accessible Souls-born game, but Sekiro, when I tried that out, it was nothing but infuriating.
Really?
And I thought the idea that I could, go on top of buildings, like I could get away from them really easily, the enemies, this is going to make the game a lot more accessible to me. It is just so freaking hard. And the get good mentality of it.
I was about to tell you to get good.
Oh, yeah. That is the battle cry of anyone who plays those kind of games and then says to a person that's complaining about, well, get good. It's like, but that's not how, okay, there's get good, and then there's this game is being completely unfair.
No, I think there's saying that is a snarky way of saying that, like, when you get a few hours in and the training wheels come off, it doesn't feel that hard anymore. You know what I mean? But a lot of people
few hours in. You want to start over?
Just don't. I think that's. I mean, look, when you're playing Bloodborne and having to clear that same street of guys a bunch of times and getting your ass kicked, once you get past that first area and that first street of guys and the cleric beast, and you kind of bang your head against the wall with Father Gascoigne for a while, after that, I don't think it feels as hard as it ever does at the beginning.
I agree. I'm just not calling that a few hours.
Yeah, well, that's what they say about Bloodborne is that the ramp up is extreme. Like, well, at the beginning, it's super difficult at the beginning, and then it actually gets way easier as the game goes on.
Kind of.
And that could be because you're getting more skilled at the game, or it could be because you're getting better items. But, I mean, they're saying that, fighting that father, the priest there, whatever his name was, that's kind of the epitome. That's the test to see if you can. That's the gatekeeper of saying, okay, are you ready to continue playing this game or not? Because this is really like if you can beat him, you can beat anyone.
But I think that's the difference between From games and the ones that try to copy them is that the games that the Souls-like games kind of try to do the difficulty and don't really, sometimes it can feel unfair. I think that in the From games, they are so consistent at doing difficulty that does not feel unfair. It feels like I know exactly what I did wrong, and I just need to do that. You know what I mean?
It's so funny. Yeah, like with Gascoigne, for example. I remember the first time I fought Gascoigne, or the first time I tried to beat him, it took me, 20, 30 tries to like finally take him down. And I'm pretty sure I had to use some exploit that kept him from, being able to attack me or something like that. And then later, after I've like beaten the game and I've figured out the big thing, which was interrupts, like using the gun. And actually, I got good at that and get good at dodging and stuff. I went through it again and
Wiped the floor with them.
Wiped the fucking floor with them. I think it took me like 3 hits and then a whole bunch of just interrupting him and doing the whatever it's called, the big damage thing that you can do. What's that called?
Visceral attack.
Visceral attacks. Yeah, it takes like 4 visceral attacks and he's fucking dead. He didn't even have a chance to turn into a beast.
Yeah. And it's also interesting because there was different ways, and that's what's kind of unique about the From Software style games. There was different ways to kind of engage him, because if you got that music box, it simplified that kind of combat against him. But you didn't have to.
And the story
go
behind
through
the
that.
whole Gascoigne in the music box and his daughters. Oh my God, there's so much shit to dive into.
It
with
actually
Bloodborne. I won't
ties
even
in.
get
It's
into
not
but
just like this item is what he's weak against. It's like, actually, this ties into his lore.
So the point is that Elden Ring should be pretty cool.
Oh,
well, I wanted to go off on Souls for a little bit. We did it. I think for before we get to Ryan's trivia, I'm gonna insert my impromptu surprise thing on you guys that I've done for the last couple episodes.
Are we gonna
which
skip?
is
Oh my God! Is
what is it? What is it? I'm excited.
Miyamoto on here right now?
no, I have come up with some questions for you guys about E3. This current, testing your memory of the current E3 and past E3s. And I'm calling this ABC. It's easy as old E3s.
Jesus Christ.
With these questions, we're not going to do steals like go to the other person. I'm just going to, because some of them are like yes, no, or this, that. So I'm just going to give you guys questions. You answer them. If you get it wrong, next question to next person.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Tim.
Yeah.
E3 2016. What was the first word spoken by Kratos in the God of War gameplay reveal trailer?
Boy.
Correct.
Oh,
amazing.
Starting off with some easy ones.
Gimmies.
Ryan.
Yes.
E3 2021, this current one. Yes or no question. Was Todd Howard wearing jeans?
Yes.
Correct.
Amazing.
Well done. Well done.
Tim, current E3 2021.
Yes.
Was Jeff Goldblum wearing glasses?
No.
Correct. All right.
Amazing.
It's
Forgot I wasn't
unforgettable.
taking points, but here. Let's stick on this theme. Ryan, was Jeff Goldblum wearing leather?
I'm going to go no.
I'm sorry, he was wearing a leather
I
jacket.
honestly didn't see whatever he was a part of in what press conference. So
He introduced the new Jurassic Park game.
That's
good
right,
for
yeah.
him. Good for America.
I was told, actually, I saw online that apparently the first Jurassic World game was surprisingly really fun. I never played it. Have either of you guys ever played it?
I have not, but in that topic, Tim, what is the full name of that Jurassic Park game that Goldblum introduced?
The new one?
Yep.
Jurassic World, the game.
Oh, so close. It was Jurassic World Evolution 2.
That wasn't close at all.
Yeah. Well, you got
Jurassic World.
You
Oh,
got
okay,
the
fair
you got
enough.
the
All right.
franchise.
All right, Ryan, I think you might get this one. Let's see.
All right.
E3 1995. Sony's famous mic drop moment where Steve Race approached the podium to announce the PlayStation's price, undercutting the Sega Saturn by $100, which some say began the downfall of Sega. What was the price he announced?
$299.
Correctamundo.
Was that
Amazing.
1995?
Yeah.
Correctamundo. Tim, what year was the first E3? 1993, 1994, or 1995?
1994.
It was 95.
Fuck.
The PlayStation one, what I just asked about. All right. Let's see. Ryan, what does E3 stand for?
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Correct.
Amazing.
All right.
This game's
Tim,
bullshit. What?
E3 2019. What did a fan yell at Keanu on stage that Keanu promptly yelled back?
Breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
Correct.
Amazing.
Doing pretty good here. All right, Ryan, E3 2016. Kojima walked out onto the stage in an epic entrance. His first words to the crowd were, "Hello, everyone, blank."
He said, "Hello, everyone," and then promptly said, "Fuck."
Incorrect. He said, "Hello, everyone, I'm back."
Yes.
All right.
I
Wow.
totally knew that.
He's so iconic.
He's so iconic.
Let's see. Tim, let's see
Yeah.
if you can get this since I'm pretty sure Ryan knows it. What is the name of the Final Fantasy Souls-like game?
Stranger of Paradise.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Amazing.
I didn't write down
Yes.
the answer.
Yes.
I knew it
the
was
one
something of paradise.
I have
Yeah.
it in one of my tabs in Google right now because when you guys were talking about it,
You
"Who's that game?"
jerk.
So it's just like literally under like a tab on my screen.
Yeah,
All right,
Strangers
Ryan.
of Paradise. Yep.
In the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, how many of the previous rune powers from Breath of the Wild 1 did we see?
Fuck.
Well, that's unfair because I feel like they may be different.
Well,
Based
no,
on-
the ones from 1. How many of the ones from the first game did we see? So the answer can be 1, 2, 3, or 4.
in the second game trailer.
Correct.
Well, we don't know if those are the same ruins.
I feel like I saw two.
I saw what I thought was the one where you hit it back and it like rolls back, but it may be a reverse time thing because it looked a little different. 2.
Well, I guess you can argue with me now because I
I
watched
would
it three-
definitely argue any of
I
this
watched
because I
it,
don't
yeah.
know if we have previous ruin.
Here, I
stuff.
watched it 3 times, and what I saw was the time stop yellow color hit the ball and it goes flying thing. So my answer I was looking for was 1, but you think it could possibly be a
I
different
could have
power.
sworn I saw Magnesis.
I think that they could also be different, so I don't think that's a fair question, Kenny.
All right, fine. I'll give you a different question. Past Souls games had you take the role of the main character called the Chosen Undead or the Ashen One in another one of the games. I think that was 3. 1 was Chosen Undead. Elden Ring's trailer tells us you'll be playing the what? And the quote that they say that you hear the name is "Foul blank in search of the Elden Ring."
Foul stank.
Almost.
It's like fire something, isn't it?
It's tarnished.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Tim, E3, we're almost done. E3 2007, when about to demo the Wii Fit, Reggie Fils-Aimé spoke a phrase that would quickly become meme-worthy. "My body is blank."
Ready.
There you go.
Amazing.
Do I have any more questions, or did I expend them all?
I think Tim got it.
Oh,
was
there's one
impressive.
more. There's one more.
Okay, well, maybe we can tie it.
Actually, I don't think you will because you'll still lose by 1. But what is the release
Oh
date
my
for
God.
Starfield?
What is the release date for Garfield? Say it.
11/11/22.
I think it's 11/21/22. But-
No, I think it's 11/11/22.
Yeah, they were trying to do the whole Skyrim 11/11/11, so they did 11/11/22. But
Why did I think something else must have been 21?
now here's the problem: they should have done 2/22/22. Like, why didn't they just
Yeah.
push up the release of Starfield to February to make that work?
You're right. It
'Cause-
is. I was thinking of Elden Ring
Amazing.
is the 21st, I think.
Because that would have been
you're
9
right.
months
It's November
earlier. and They
11th.
didn't have enough time. Clearly, they haven't even started the fucking game yet.
Todd Howard's like, we have to do it for the memes, guys. Come on.
So since you corrected me, you get 2 points, and you guys tie. Everyone's happy.
Ah,
Yay.
bullshit!
I mean, Tim kind of knew
But Tim
that
kinda
too.
really won.
Like, Tim kind of knew that one as well. So
Well, we were just going back and forth. So we couldn't
All right,
build it
fine.
anyway.
I'll take the tie.
yeah.
I'll take the tie, but you guys got to give me one thing.
What's that?
I played a bunch of new games over the past week. And we
I
seem
was
to
just
skip
about
right
to
over
do that. No. I was just about to do that and ask you
Okay.
about Disco Elysium because I wanted to hear
Ooh.
your words on it.
That's funny because of all the games I tried in the last week, that's the one I want to talk about the least.
No, but it's such a good game, isn't it, Tim?
It's it's amazing. No, it's very unique. I'll give it that. I mean, Disco Elysium is a very unique game. You apparently, depending on how you start your character, you have different experiences with the world around you, and all kinds of crazy shit can happen. That's great. I think I'm coming off of the high of Mass Effect 2 and like the action of it, and actually being addicted to a game. And I think this happens to me. I look for the next game to kind of fill those shoes a little bit. And so the
Sure.
bar gets
You're
set pretty
chasing
high.
the dragon.
Exactly. I'm chasing the dragon, and Disco Elysium didn't fit it.
But
I played it
speaking
for
of
about-
dragons, you did chase a dragon, didn't you? You went to a dragon game.
I did. I
I'm
I
a
went
master
from-
of segues.
yeah, that was very good. threw me off. Damn it. I did. After playing a couple hours of Disco Elysium, I started to back up like, I don't know, two or three times. And after I think about 3 hours total, I was like, no, this is not the mood I'm in right now. This is not a bad experience. Don't get me wrong. It's just this is not the mood that I'm in right now. And
I totally
it
get
made me think of other games that I have to really be in a mood for. And the one that came to mind immediately was This War of Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of has that same feel. Like you have to be in this zone to appreciate this game.
That's why I haven't
thing.
finished Disco Elysium yet, because I totally know what you're saying. But when I have been in the mood to play it, it is a brilliant game, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll get there eventually.
I don't doubt that. I'm just not there yet, but I'll get to it. So I saw that trailer that they put up on E3 for Yakuza Like a Dragon, and all the ridiculous shit that was in that trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I've got to try this game. Okay, so I started playing. I've never played any of these Yakuza games before. I am about 3 hours into it, and I have seen none of this ridiculous stuff that I was promised by this trailer. I feel like I was like baited and switched or something, because it's just been this
The
long,
ridiculous stuff is DLC. Don't worry.
it's been this very narrative heavy, like visual novel basically, with about maybe 15 minutes of actual gameplay so far that I've actually had. The rest of it has just been watching the story in the movie that is this game. So if that stuff is going to happen, it needs to start happening soon, or I'm giving up.
I don't
So
know
anyways,
what to tell you.
and another brief one. Today, I decided to try out Sonic Mania. I still can't get the hang of Sonic games, so I'm hanging up my controller on that one. Don't at me. And then lastly is the one I did get addicted to, and the one I have been playing a lot of is Destroy All Humans.
Yeah.
That
It-
game is stupid fun. It is
Yeah.
such a goofy, good time. It's campy. It's got just a hint of offensive humor in it. It reminds me of like Leisure Suit Larry or Deadly Tower of Monsters. Just like goofy, good time game. And that's exactly what this one is. It's just a bunch of campy lines and killing a bunch of humans and in new and interesting and unique ways. And I can't get enough of it. I'm ready to play it after we're done with our recording tonight.
Yeah, Destroy All Humans, when it originally came out, man, that was just such a fun game. I remember just playing through it and just going like, what a stupid fun game this is. It's like
Exactly.
It's not a Academy Award winning film style game. It's a game
It doesn't
where I
have
can
to be though. you know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. I can mind control people and zap them, and I'm playing Mars Attacks essentially in a game. I'm like, I love this so
you can
much.
anal probe and you can
Yeah.
fling cows at people and
Yeah.
it's
Give me
just,
telekinesis in any game, and I'm
Exactly.
usually pretty satiated.
You know,
and
I've
I
heard-
like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, oh no, keep going.
Yeah, like I was just going to go further in the mechanics of it, but basically, it's just a super fun game, and I recommend anybody that's got any of those, like subscription services right now that's got it included to give it a try, because it's just fun.
No, what I was gonna say is that I've heard like so many different people on podcasts talk up Yakuza and Yakuza Like a Dragon. So when you were doing that, I thought you were building up to this big like this game is amazing, and I was gonna be like, oh, I definitely have to play this, but no, that dropped off a cliff, I guess.
It does it. Well, the trailer has all kinds of ridiculous shit. Like you're dodging eggs being launched out of a chicken, and you're like bowling and weird shit. But literally, all that's been happening is this like melodrama about like the Japanese mafia for like 3 hours. No joke. And punching people every now and then.
That's pretty much. Yakuza games are really known for being a little silly with their style and humor. So this one took it to from my experience, like knowledge, the 10th gear here, like of how insane it is. But like it's still like, I don't know. It reminds me of playing Shenmue a lot of times when I'm playing these games.
It's what it seems like.
It's a Sega game, so it's like, oh man, one of the mini games is you get to work at a dock. It's like, why would I? No, I don't care.
Ryan,
GTA 5 had that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you like Persona?
I've tried Persona. So again, it's tough for me because I'm really hard. I'm a very ADD style video game player, and by that I mean, if I'm not really captivated by the story in like the first few minutes, I'm like, all right, skip story. I just want the mechanics of the gameplay, and I want to beat it. Like
that's exactly my experience with Persona 5, and I wanted to like it so bad because it looks so damn cool, and the UI is awesome, and the music is awesome, and I actually did like the combat, but there was so much text and story that I didn't care about that much, and I don't know.
What do you say we cut the chit-chat a-hole?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
is that for the narrative of the game or for us to move on to the next topic?
No, that was in regards to Persona 5.
I think the problem again, and we had talked about this a little previously this week. It's just it's hard for me to get into a game where it's like I might as well be reading a book or watching a movie. Like I need to have mechanics that are happening in the game that are engaging me more so than dialogue. I'm very different. Like when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, I'm very much dialogue driven. Like I like being in the dialogue in the world like that, but I'm the exact opposite in a video game.
Unless you're like in the mood to do that. You know what I mean? Like unless you're starting a game specifically because you want the narrative and you want the dialogue and that's the thing you want to focus on. I totally get that. I'm the same way.
Yeah, Disco Elysium's story hooked me way more than Persona's, and that's why I could actually hang with that one. I just thought it was very interesting and hilarious. Okay, let's go on to Ryan Presents. Oh, actually, Ryan presents what you've been playing.
Ryan presents what he's been playing this past week. So the Yuffie or Yuffie or however you want to pronounce her name. Yep. The DLC came out for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which we all know and we all love.
Wait, how's it pronounced in the game?
I believe it's Yuffie.
Huh.
I think you're right.
I did have to change the audio to Japanese because the English voice acting is like nails and chalkboard.
It's pretty bad.
Is it really?
Oh,
man.
And they tried. Look, it's hard. I can't imagine being a voice actor and going, okay, you're going to do this Japanese game that everyone knows and loves, but you're this weird character that does this, and you got to make weird noises all the time and all
weird anime grunting noises. I think Donkey calls them.
Exactly. And it's just like, oh, okay, I think I know this, but I don't know anything about anime, so I'm just going to do my best. I mean, these are kind of voice actors you usually get in these kind of things. It's just like, I'm here for a paycheck. Give me my money. All right, yeah, I voiced it. Let's go. They're going to listen to it in Japanese anyways. So I have
to feel like if the voice actor listened to our podcast and heard you say that, she would be heartbroken.
I would say, like, I think that there was a spirited attempt. You did such a
I literally
great
watched
attempt.
a video of the woman that voice acted Eris or whatever, doing Final Fantasy VII, and like her watching her performance for the first time, and she was like crying because she was so happy about it and everything.
Because that
and
was
you
actually,
just sounded like a fucking monster.
Because Eris was actually a really good voice actress. So no, I think that Yuffie probably is just a hard one to convey, honestly, because in terms of like, they really wanted to make her a silly character, and I'm trying to remember my best because I recently replayed Final Fantasy VII maybe about a year ago. I don't remember Yuffie being that silly. I remember
was
her
pretty
being a
silly.
little silly.
She was pretty silly.
I don't remember her being like obnoxiously silly, like to a degree of like, oh my god, I hope you die at some point in this
She was
game.
pretty fucking annoying when she kept on stealing your materia and shit like that, and you had to go. You were like forced to do her entire side quest in
Yeah.
Wutai.
Yeah, it's but all that being said, it was really a well done DLC. I was sad how short it was. It's only 2 chapters long.
How long was the playtime?
So I did most of everything in there because they add mini games, which Fort Condor, which is they turned into a mini
I saw
game.
that. Yeah. Well, it was a mini game in Final Fantasy VII,
Right,
original.
but they turned it into an actual like a board game mini game instead of you going to Fort Condor and actually, defending it.
Okay.
It's a board game in this universe. So
Okay. So with all that, how long did it take to finish that?
6
content?
hours. 6
6
hours.
hours. How much you pay for it?
$20.
This is ammo for me. You realize that? $20. 6
All right.
hours of game.
All right,
Okay.
let's. I mean, I put it in context of I got at least. I mean, I got 6 hours of enjoyment. How long is a movie?
Yeah, that
Maybe.
checks out.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much do I pay to go see a movie?
No. It's all good. No. I think that's fine. It's just when I continue to bitch about Final Fantasy VII and how it's a money grab, I'm just going to include that.
I'll
I'm gonna include
allow
that
you.
on the list. Yeah.
When they officially announce the Kate Sith DLC, I will allow you. I will give you 20 minutes of free reign to go look at what you've done to my boy. like I will give you all of the
I'll
stage.
be on it. I will be.
Oh no.
that.
And I won't say a single word because I will agree with you. I will go, okay, fair point. But I do think that the story that they had to tell there was pretty good. I think that the additional characters they added for the DLC and into the Final Fantasy VII lore is getting pretty interesting, and it's getting me more intrigued to go. Okay, cool. Their next game is gonna have. I mean, it's already had a pretty interesting twist. Next game is really gonna take us in a weird direction that the original game never did. In that sense, so it's intrigued me to play further, obviously, into that. But I think that just from the gameplay to just like just the fun of just doing stupid things in that, I think it was a really well done DLC.
So did you finish it, and then did you start playing anything else?
So I finished that. I've been playing. I did get EA Play, so I've been going through Mass Effect 2 again, actually, because I wanted to. I couldn't let you have all the fun, so I'm going through that one again and enjoying the heck out of it. It really has not changed my opinion whatsoever on that game. That game.
I've been reflecting more on
superb.
Mass Effect 2, and I'm realizing that it really is just a team building simulator.
There you go. Team building
Doesn't really
exercise
have much of a-
99. Yeah,
It doesn't really have much of a
fantastic.
story. It's just build up your team to do this one mission.
No, it's
okay.
It is, but it's so good. And then on top of that, the demo for the Final Fantasy game I just played last night, which was like I said, actually surprisingly good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I've been playing the Yuffie thing too. Only a couple hours because most of my time has gone into Ratchet. Ratchet ripped a fart is really good. As I told these guys over text, I think it would be a 10 for me if they're kind of leading into the puzzles a little more in that game. I don't know why. I just think they're really simplistic kind of stuff. I think that, I mean, it looks like one of the best games I've ever seen. It looks like you're totally playing a Pixar movie. And it's like I got Returnal vibes from it a little bit too, just the way you kind of move around and dodge and shoot in that game in third person. Feels a little bit like that.
Really active combat.
Yeah,
well,
it might be
just giving me PTSD. So,
But it's Ratchet and Clank, so it's not nearly as like.
It might be pushing it a little bit, asking for too much. But I think if Ratchet and Clank had like puzzles that you interacted with the different weapons that you had to figure out which weapon solved the puzzle, that would be really cool. And I don't know, but I don't know if they've ever even done that before. But it seemed like it would be a cool idea. And other than that, last night the Elder Scrolls Online PS5 patch came out, so I jumped back into that for a couple hours to see all the stuff that's new in there because my friend's playing it and wanted me to play with him, so now I'm going to be stuck in that again for a little bit, which I don't mind. I was actually kind of just thinking when I turned it on that I think if I had to choose one game if I had to play one game for like a whole year and I wasn't allowed to play any other games, I'd probably play Elder Scrolls Online.
Huh.
Wow.
Something like that.
You know, it's funny. Or like right now, or they just released, I think they just released the Burning Crusade for WoW Classic.
Yeah, they're
and
going back through the whole entire game. Just
well, it's
making
funny because that's what I
like-
started on when I started playing
Yeah.
WoW. I started playing like just at the end of the vanilla, so I wasn't. I think I was level 40. I think when the Burning Crusade came out on my first character. So like TBC was a big deal for me. It was this whole new content of a game that I had not even experienced all the content of.
Yeah, it makes me curious. When do they stop? Like, when do they go? Like, okay, they did TBC. Are we going to do Wrath of the Lich King? Is that?
I imagine they'll do Wrath of the Lich King, and I think that might be it.
You think they're just going to stop there? And that's kind of because that is the sweet spot. That was when the nostalgia was all there. It was the original, the Burning Crusades, Wrath of the Lich King. I think that's where nostalgia hits really hard. And then when it goes past that, it's just like, okay, we're getting into new.
I wonder how much hunger there was to still have like maintained classic like vanilla servers.
Apparently there was a lot.
I mean, now that the Burning Crusade is out, I wonder if there was some pushback because
they were like, we don't want the Burning Crusade.
Yeah.
We want the original. WoW.
Exactly. I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with it. I wonder if they have servers that are still on the OG.
I mean, the whole point of why Blizzard actually went back to vanilla was because people actually had their own servers doing vanilla.
Oh yeah,
World of Warcraft, and they're like, okay, well, we got to capitalize on this. They did.
I've never been able to commit to WoW for maybe longer than like a month with a full-time job, that is. And that isn't even really long enough to really get into the endgame stuff. And, I don't know. But I just always loved the ESO combat so much better. It just feels way better to me.
You ever play Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2?
I have not.
Yeah, Guild Wars. I played the original a lot, and I loved that game. It was an MMO for people that really didn't want a lot of content for an MMO, and it was fantastic because of that. It was a game where I never felt like I was like, oh, I'm never going to see everything here.
Ryan, have you played Final Fantasy 14, the MMO one?
I've only played 11, which was an MMO as well.
Oh, interesting. I've always heard that 14 is really cool too, as far as MMOs go.
Yeah,
and it looks awesome, but I can't with so many.
Too many
games.
MMOs. I've kind of sworn off MMOs at this point, so
yeah.
It's just. Yeah, I need an ending to a game, and I've also realized that there's a sweet spot for me.
I was just thinking about you earlier today when I was reading something about Animal Crossing and how nothing had come out, and I was like, oh man, when I played Animal Crossing, it was just for the fun of playing Animal Crossing. And I was friends with Ryan, who I would go visit his island, and he was there to beat it. Like he had like a farming factory. Like, I've got to get the golden shovel. That means I beat the game. And sure enough, as soon as that son of a bitch got like the golden axe, he was like, I won, and then he stopped playing.
The credits rolled. It was when I finally paid off everything. Nook left me the fuck alone. I was done with him, and credits rolled, and I go, done, and I threw my Switch on the ground, and I walked away, and I said, all right, I don't need to. I did the same thing with Pokemon Snap, like the new one. I literally took that last photo. It goes, oh, you beat the game. And credits roll. I go, done. And I haven't touched it since.
That reminds me of me and Tim playing Valheim. It's like we got all the bosses done. We built an awesome base. I finished my lighthouse. And we had this badass fort. And we were just like, okay. All of a sudden, it just ended really quickly. I guess we're done. We're out of stuff to do.
That's it. There's nothing left to do in this fucking game,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, until they add, I guess, more bosses is the speculation they're going to do.
I'm worried that it's too late. Like, too little too late. I don't know what they can release that'll really
Do you think that it had that the pandemic special sauce that really made that game pop for people? Do you think if the pandemic was not a thing, and people weren't kind of cooped up inside or whatever, Valheim would have gotten the popular base that it has had. It's kind of like Among Us too, the way I view Among Us. I don't know if that would have had such a popular following if it weren't for the pandemic.
Yeah, there are a lot of games like it, and I don't know why that one in particular popped off, but it did feel unique to me. I guess in some ways I can't even think of why exactly. It just there's something about it, about the progression in it, and a lot of those games where you have to go out and forage and I guess they made it a little bit easier on you. That it's not as easy to lose all your shit and have to start over again. It was a
you
little
fall
bit
off
more,
the side of the earth.
Yeah,
unless you fall off the
don't
side
do
of the
that.
earth.
Please don't do that.
Which we did. We had no idea what, like, we hadn't heard anything about that. We just thought ourselves,
the
what
one
happens
thing-
if we sail over there?
Yeah, the one problem I had with Valheim really more than anything was, and I get it because they want you to sail, right? That's you're Vikings, you should sail, but they had portals in that game. If you're gonna have portals, but you're not gonna allow me to travel through portals if I'm carrying certain items,
Yeah, that's
I just
weird.
don't get it. Like there's no rationale or reasoning other than we demand that you sail because we want to make this difficult for you to bring these items back.
We were
But
on a
there's
remote
no-
server. Yeah. We
Yeah.
totally took advantage of the exploit to get like iron stuff back to our camp.
Oh,
like we never
okay.
did big long caravans of boats.
I
to
got
get-
you.
Or from one place to the other. Fuck
All
that. I
right,
wouldn't have
all
played
right.
it. That game would have gone
well,
from
dude,
50 hours
yeah,
of fun
yeah.
to 150 hours of not fun.
I was on a server with some friends, and that was the way it had to be done. It's like, oh, well, I mean, you could take a portal to the mountain area where you'd have to harvest and get stuff, but once you got it, you had to put it on a boat and you had to sail it back to a spot.
Damn that.
Even when we drove off the edge of the world and lost all of our shit, we console commanded all of our items back.
Oh
That was
my
the one
God,
time we
that's
cheated with
awesome.
console commands because we were like,
That's
fuck
awesome.
this. Yeah.
Like we could have
Love
cheated.
it.
We could have seen what was going to happen when we fell off the side of the earth, but we didn't. And for that, we get a little reward, and that was all of our shit back.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, but like, I did think that Valheim had like some interesting, like, because a lot of the survival games do the same kind of thing, but like this game didn't really require you to eat that. Like, it didn't require you to like do all these things that would like make you worse for wear if you didn't do, but it did encourage you, and if you cooked, and it had the Breath of the Wild kind of mechanic where whatever you ate gave you certain boosts, and I kind of like that. And even like when the enemies died in that game, they poofed into a puff of smoke like Breath of the Wild. I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm a sucker for this. But it's survival games are hard for me because if I'm playing a survival game with friends, and we're getting through it, and then I'm like, okay, I got to go for like a week. I'm going to be off for a week, and I come back, and they've already built like the entire universe. In that week that I've been gone, I'm like, what's the point of me playing? You already did it all. Like,
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't want to play anymore.
Going off of what I just said, what if you guys could only play one game for a year? What would it be?
Oh my God.
That's a tough one.
Oh, probably for a year? Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
That's a really tough question. I'd probably go with City Skylines.
Nice.
Yeah. I would go with Dota 2 just so I can get pro on it because I can't play anything else, and I
There you
would
go.
make a lot of money.
Nice.
I would also be the most toxic person in the universe. It'd be fantastic.
All right. I guess we'll move on to more games. Games about games like we do here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tim, can you really trust someone who doesn't like chicken McNuggets?
No.
All right. This is a game that Ryan has come up with that we call Are You Smarter Than a Leet Gamer, which we've played every week so far.
What the fuck was the chicken nuggets question? I totally missed. Was that a reference to something?
No.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
What
All
do you
right.
got for us, Ryan?
All right. I got 3 categories for you guys to choose from. We're going to be competing for highest score. Go figure. And we're going to go through these 3 specific categories. The first one, game colons, wild weapons, and move it. We have 5 questions for wild weapons, move it. Game colon's going to be interesting. It is a press your luck style game. So when you choose that, I'm going to ask you one of the things, and if you get it right, you can continue on, take the points, or you can keep pressing your luck for more points.
Wow. Okay, cool.
All right. Let's I got to flip a coin. Kenny, why don't you call it in the air? Flipping now.
Heads.
And it is heads.
All
Bullshit.
right.
Yes, heads. All right. Kenny.
Do I want to do the press your luck thing immediately? Let's wait on that. Let's do colon. What was the colon one?
That was the press your luck. That was
that
the
was
press
it.
your luck one.
You lose points for having forgotten that already. You're at -5.
Fine, let's do it.
All right. So, game colons. The way this works is I'm going to give you the name of a game after the colon. So a sequel or a prequel to a game. And you're going to tell me the series that game belongs to.
Gotcha. Got it.
All right.
I understand.
So, for 100 points, Original Sin.
Divinity.
Correct. Do you want to
Amazing.
continue?
I will press my luck.
Press your luck. All right. The next one is Live and Reloaded.
Oh no. Live and I know this, don't I? Maybe I don't. Live and Reloaded. Live and Reloaded. Live and Reloaded. Damn it. I can't get like Guitar Hero games out of my mind, and I know it's not one of those. Forza. I don't know.
Forza is incorrect. Now, Tim, you could start on this line of pressing your luck if you'd like.
Wait, I have to answer that one?
Yes.
I would not like to do that.
All right. So that one is
No points.
all right. Moving on to Tim. What
Wow,
category
man,
would
this
you
is-
like?
I'm all flustered. Let's do Wild Weapons.
Wild weapons. I'm going to name a weapon, and you're going to tell me the series the weapon is from.
Ooh, okay.
For 100 points. The Needler.
Halo?
That is correct. Tim
Amazing.
with the 100 points. Back to Kenny.
All right. I'll take the category that hasn't been chosen yet.
All right. The category that hasn't been chosen is Move It. All right. I'm going to name a move.
Sound like Nathan Lane.
Move it. I'm the producer.
That's what
I'm
he says. That's his line.
That was from the movie.
I'm the producer.
I'm the producer. Everyone remembers that. That's a famous line in that movie. All right. So
I think Gene Wilder said it.
believe
All right.
so. I don't know. I'm going to name a move
Yes.
from a video game, and you're going to tell me what series that's from, and you'll get an extra bonus point if you can tell me which character uses it.
Okay.
Screw Attack.
You don't know Jack? Isn't that you don't know Jack thing? That I use myself?
Is that your final answer? It's a guess
Screw
and an
Attack.
answer.
Screw Attack. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. Damn
Tim,
it.
Screw Attack.
Metroid series done by Samus Aran.
That is correct.
Damn it.
Amazing.
I think I'm right too, for the record.
Look, you don't know this game that I'm talking about. All right.
I accept it. Let's go.
All right. Going back to Tim for a choice.
I'll try the games colons.
All right. First one is Warped.
Warped. Isn't that's not no. I don't know. My first thought was Ratchet and Clank.
That is incorrect. Kenny, Warped.
Crash Bandicoot.
That is correct.
Amazing.
Now, Kenny, would you like to continue forward?
How many points did I get for that?
100.
Are you keeping track of them, really?
Sure.
Oh, I was keeping track of them too, so I was just making sure.
You call them 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4. Anyways,
Okay.
For the 2-pointer, do you want to continue
for the
on?
two, since that's the second one. Gotcha.
Right.
Well, yeah, I guess I have to catch up. Let's try it.
All right. Like a dragon.
Oh, Yakuza!
That
Son
is
of a bitch.
correct.
Amazing.
And I will stop there since I'm
You're
tied
going to
now.
stop at that. So that ties you guys.
And it goes back to me again, right?
And it goes back to Kenny.
All right. Let's do the weapon one.
All right, wild weapons. Kenny, your wild weapon is the Lancer.
Gears of War.
That is correct.
Amazing.
All right, Tim, back to you.
I want the weapons one again, too.
All right. Tim, the secret slime action word is, no, the weapon is Terra Blade. Terra Blade.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Chad, Terra Blade. Terra Blade.
Terra Blade.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Kenny.
I don't know this either, but I don't even know if there's weapons in this game. I'm just gonna guess Terraria.
That is correct.
Oh
It
my
is
Get the fuck outta here.
Terraria. That is correct.
That's bullshit.
If you,
I hate this. I'm so mad.
if you think the game could be related to the weapon, you're probably right. All right.
It's back to me, I think.
Kenny.
All right, let's go back to the press your luck one.
All right. This is the final pressure luck question,
Got it.
starting with New Vegas.
Fallout.
Very good. Would you like to press your luck?
Oh, I thought you said that was the final. There's more?
Well, it's the final of the series. Of
Oh,
Press
there's a
Your Luck.
series. Oh, very good. Very well thought out. Yeah, let's do it. Keep going.
Going Commando.
That's Ratchet and Clank, right?
Correct.
Amazing.
That is Ratchet
Fuck
and
yeah.
Clank. Would you like to press your luck?
I'm gonna stop there.
You're making this game less fun. All right, I'm taking it.
I'm trying to
All
win
right,
one.
you know what?
I-
Let's can we just do a few of these just to see?
I had
if you
such a
would bet
bad
it?
showing last time.
Daggerfall.
Elder Scrolls.
Yep, you would have got that. All right, Reign of Chaos.
Oh, Reign
know that
of
one.
Chaos.
Tim, you could just shout it out because no one's getting points at this point for that.
Warcraft 3.
That's right. And Among Thieves.
Uncharted.
There it is. Yep. All right. Back to Tim.
This sucks.
So we're
What's the
out
score?
of.
I'm behind by like 2 at this point. or 3,
So
aren't I?
Kenny has
I think it's 7-3.
900 points right now, and you have 100 or 200 points. 200 points.
Fuck. Move it.
All right,
Is there
move
anything
it.
less? I think move it is the only category left. Isn't it?
No, we still have 2 for wild weapons, and we have 4 for move it.
Oh, you got 5 questions for each category.
I made sure I came prepared.
Fancy do. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, move it.
All right, move it. The spin attack.
Spin attack?
The spin attack.
Would that be like Link from Legend of Zelda?
That is correct with the bonus points.
Amazing.
All right.
That is 400 points for you because 200 and 200 is 400. All right. Next is Kenny.
Let's go. Wild Weapons.
Wild weapons. The Sunshot.
The Sunshot is in Destiny 2.
That is correct.
Amazing.
Wow.
I almost said Destiny. I couldn't remember which one.
Well, Destiny would have counted. It's from the series, so you could
Gotcha. Okay.
say just that. All right.
I'm glad I didn't get that one.
All right, Tim.
Let's move it again. I'm liking that, Kenny. It's treating me well so far.
All right, Tim. For 300, potentially 600 if you get the bonus.
Holy shit.
Psycho Crushed.
Psycho Crushed?
Psycho Crushed.
Psycho Crushed. I don't know. I'm going to guess. Terraria.
That is wrong. That's wrong. That is the stroke answer of correct. All right, Kenny, can you steal it?
I don't think I can. I'm just gonna. This isn't right. I'm just gonna say the Psycho from Borderlands 2, Krieg.
That is incorrect. Psycho Crushed is a Street Fighter move done by one and only M. Bison.
Oh.
Damn M. Bison.
All right, Kenny.
Is there still more in Move It?
There is 2 more on Move It.
Let's do it. Since it has a bonus thing, that's a smart move, probably.
All right. So let's go with Gamma Crush.
Damn it. These crush moves. Gamma Crush. I wonder if that's a... Gamma Crush. Gamma Crush. Is that a Metroid Prime thing?
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
Tim. Gamma Crush.
Gamma Crush. I don't know. Does it have something to do with the Hulk?
Do you want to guess a game?
Oh. Marvel versus Capcom, the Hulk.
That is correct.
Oh my God!
That is correct.
Amazing.
It is the Hulk's move in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Wow.
Well played, Tim. Using your knowledge of knowing gamma radiation was the Hulk's thing, and he crushes stuff. Well played, Tim.
See, this evens out because I actually know more about games, but Tim is actually smarter than me, so we're on like an even playing field.
All right. We may actually need to calculate these points at the end, so bear with me. All right. We have 1 question left for Wild Weapons and 1 question left for Move It. Kenny. Or wait, no, Tim.
I believe it's
right?
Tim's, yeah.
Tim.
Let's do... I mean, I'm really enjoying Move It. Let's do Move It.
All right, Tim. For 500 and potentially another 500 for the bonus.
Wow.
The move is called Fusro Da.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Fusro... The move is called Fusro Da.
Yes.
Is this a trick question?
It could be.
I feel like this is a trick question. It's a move. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and the Dragonborn does it.
That is correct. That is
Amazing.
correct.
I got that many points for that.
Yes, you did.
I think you're confused because the move is actually called something, isn't it? And that's just what he says?
No, it's actually called a Fusro Da.
Is it?
I looked it up online. They don't lie.
Could have sworn it was called like Force Shout or something.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
just what it said.
Unrelenting Force.
Doesn't
Unrelenting
matter.
Force. There you go.
That's the name the move says.
Okay.
All right. Kenny,
All right. Is there one more in the moves?
there's one. Do you want me to make up one more for the moves just to give you something?
Yeah, do that.
Sure.
Oh my god. All right. Let's say
Fusro Crush.
Fusro Crush. How about we do wild weapons and I'll come back to you on that. So, because there's only one wild weapon left, and I can't think of a move other than Hadouken.
Yeah,
and
no,
I'm
it's
pretty
fine.
sure you know what that is.
You're the game guy, so I mean, Hadouken is as easy as Fusro Da, so that'd be fine. But
I
whatever.
didn't know
That's fine.
Fusro Da was going to be that easy, honestly.
Let's go to wild weapons. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Shield of Chaos.
Shield of Chaos.
Shield of Chaos.
I mean, with my knowledge of the Blades of Chaos, I would guess that's the name of his shield in God of War. Is that right?
That is incorrect. Tim,
Damn it.
Would you like to enlighten Kenny on what
I
the
would.
Shield of Chaos is?
That's totally from Hades.
That is correct.
Oh, my God. I would not have remembered
Amazing.
And I believe with that final hit,
Tim has won.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Kenny, but he put the Fus Roda to this game.
That was a hell of a game.
That was a hell of a game.
that was,
Yeah, that was a roller coaster.
Good game, guys. But you both competed very valiantly, I would say.
I feel valiant.
Yeah, that was
Valiant.
I'd agree.
But that was
That was
I-
good, man. That was some good questions.
yeah. I like the pressure luck style.
Yeah, that
That
is
was
awesome.
pretty
I
dope.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
wanna
can't believe I pulled out
hold on.
Terraria.
I wonder if I can go back.
Yeah,
let me
bastard.
And
see.
Tim
I'd be
pulled
way
out
more
the
mad about that if I
fucking
hadn't
Hulk.
just won.
Yeah, let me see. All right, hold on. Let me give you a few more of the pressure luck, see if you guys can guess it. All right, Global Offensive.
Counter-Strike.
Command and Conquer.
Amazing.
Counter-Strike.
Ah, fuck.
Simon's Quest.
Castlevania.
That is correct.
Amazing.
Curse of the Moon.
Bloodstained.
That is correct.
Amazing.
Gat Out of Hell.
Gat Out of Hell. Do you know that, Tim?
No.
I know when I hear it, I'm going to be like, God damn it.
Bayonetta.
I can't remember.
Saints Row.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have known that.
Insect Armageddon.
Sim Ant.
What'd you say?
Sim Ant.
Sim Ant. Insect Armageddon. Yeah, I don't know that one.
That is Earth Defense Force.
I haven't heard of that.
I have-
And
but I
Project Origin.
Oh. Ooh. I know that. Project Origin.
Command and Conquer.
I'm not going to pull it out.
It's a jackal, actually. It's a jackal. It is Fear. Fear.
Oh.
Project Origin.
Oh, this got harder. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys never press your luck to those, so yeah, I never
I-
got the
yeah.
hard ones.
I never got any of them right. So, there was that.
If I pressed my luck once and waited for that Elder Scrolls question, I might have tied or won.
Yeah, well, if ifs and buts were Canyon nuts,
Merry Christmas.
we'd all be tricycles. I can't remember how that
All
works.
right.
Let's,
All
is it
right.
debate time?
All right, we are going to move along to the famous Slap a Debate. You know, guys, you don't have to do that since I put in the bass effect later.
We
but
like
that's fine.
doing it
No,
anyway.
Okay.
I think ours is better.
We don't get the thing that happens in post, so we have to do it on our own.
That's fine. Okay.
I live in a post-modern world.
It is Ryan's turn to judge. Tim and I will be going head to head, so I'll pass it over to Ryan. Let's go.
All right. Your debate is best 90s villain in a video game.
That was a nice movie voice sound, like announcer.
In a world where
Yeah.
there's one villain.
Exactly.
Which
All right.
you choose?
All right. Since Kenny, you won the coin toss up for the first round of questions, Tim, I will have you go first. Go ahead and plead your case. I'm going to start the timer. It's going to be 1 minute. I'm going to stop you. And then we're going to go to Kenny, give him 1 minute, stop him, and then we're going to fight it out. Are you guys ready?
Fight.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, Tim, give me your thing.
I barely had to think about the best villain in my mind from the 90s. And that, of course, is Magus from Chrono Trigger. Oh, my God. Okay. So what I love about Magus, there's a million things I love about Magus as a villain and as a bad guy in that game. The many faceted aspects of Magus. The cool thing that you start off with this vision on your mind of him being this awful, evil, terrible thing that is, the point of conquest. We kill Magus and everything will be okay. And you lurk down through his dungeon and get into his lair, basically, to see him, to witness him channeling this horrific spell to summon the end of the world and begin this battle against this all-powerful mage, equipped with only the Masamune, which is the only thing that can break down his defenses. And you have this epic fight with him with the most epic battle music of all time.
Okay, and Kenny.
All right. My choice for best 90s villain, best boss fight of the 90s is Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid, which is a boss fight that is infamously famous. It went on to, influence many later games, Metal Gear Solid as a whole. That boss fight in particular, and the third wall breaking things it did some crazy shit where he read your memory card. In order to beat him, you had to put your controller port in the other controller. The screen would flash off and make you think that your channel input was gone. It was the craziest shit I'd ever seen in a game, with the creator not being afraid to fuck with you. And it was just so incredibly unique. This third wall breaky thing was not a thing we saw in games before that. And it went on to influence games like, I would say BioShock, Spec Ops, games like the Stanley Parable, where they break walls all the time. It's like that sort of thing you did not see in games until Psycho Mantis, who has a crazy awesome backstory as well.
That is quite the arguments. Magnus versus Psycho Mantis. Guys,
Psycho
fight
Mantis.
it out.
I think Psycho Mantis is definitely a good choice. I think that had a lot of a uniqueness to it. I think at the same time, Magus had a lot of uniqueness into what he brought into the game as well, because Chrono Trigger introduced Magus not only as a boss that you thought was the last boss, but ended up not. His motivations were he was trying to stop the big bad evil guy. So when you finally defeat him in battle, it becomes this, oh my God, what did we just do? Turns out, and further into the game, once you learn more about Magus, he actually becomes somebody that can join your party. Talk about being influential in games. That's something that you see later down the road, of the bad guy becoming somebody that you can actually befriend and be part of your team. And not only can he join your party, but he does it in like unique ways and has unique moves and skill sets that just make him extra awesome to have on your team.
Well, Psycho Mantis' story ties into Metal Gear Solid in an awesome way. He was this child born in Russia, I believe it was, during the Cold War. His mother died giving birth to him, and he was born with this crazy psychic powers, and he was like cursed with feeling the minds of other people, and he went on to like get this notion that like every human on the earth, all they want to do is pass along their seed and breed, and it causes them. That's what causes war in the world. So he like made it his mission to just go around and eventually he was working for like the KGB or something like that, and it was later with the U.S. and the CIA, I think. Eventually worked with serial
Starting
killers.
to sound like a Metal Gear Solid plot.
Yes, exactly. He was hired by the FBI to use his psychic powers to study serial killers, and every time he uses these powers, his mind gets more corrupted by the people he's reading, and he eventually like got some of this psychotic serial killer brain infused into him as well. And during this fight, you go in there and he's like throwing shit around the room. He's fucking with your TV. He's messing with you. He reads your memory card and tells you like, you played Castlevania or Suikoden or something. Is Suikoden a game from back then? I think it's one that I remember that was on there. You're not giving me a parent. But Psycho Mantis' last thing that he does after all this world of like serving different governments for hire and things like that, and his alliance with Liquid Snake, trying to get the body of Big Boss by taking the world ransom, he finally realizes that Snake is like the one person he's come across that doesn't have that desire to pass along his seed, and for the first time he feels like what it feels like to help someone by opening the passage for you at the end after you defeat his crazy spinny furniture room. And yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm incredibly confused. It sounds long-winded and very Kojima-esque. I had trouble following that. I'm not gonna lie. Did you have to read up extra about how it worked and why he does the things he does?
Actually,
Mantis?
no. That's how much I like Metal Gear. Believe it or not, if I read up on it, it would have been 10 times more involved.
All right, guys, give me your closing argument.
Oh, already? I got to close it already? Okay, listen, you guys have both played D&D under me. You have heard me play Magus's song over and over because it is the most epic boss music but it's still like simple and it's beautiful. And the sounds, the eeriness of Magus's castle. Despite all this, you still get to become Magus. You still get to have him be a part of your party, and you get to see him use his shadowy magic, which even Specchio, the master of magic, at the end of time, calls it like wholly impressive. Like we reeled in a Marlin by bringing in Magus to meet him, and that he could even teach Specchio a few things. This guy is amazingly powerful, amazingly cool. He's got a great avatar. He's got great music. He's got a great boss fight with all kinds of demonic shit. And his story is beautiful in the game. And you should really play Chrono Trigger sometime, Kenny.
Sure. And I think when we first pitched this idea for this debate, I think we had said best boss battle of the 90s instead of villain. And it kind of works the same way, villain, boss battle. But when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about boss battle. And the way that this thing came along when I was a kid and blew my mind in the ways that boss battles could be presented and bosses and things that games could do, and Metal Gear Solid as a whole, and this boss in particular did things we had never seen in games before. They weren't afraid to screw with the player in ways that games had not done. And it made you think in ways, you have to take he's reading your mind the whole time. He's trying to make Meryl kill herself in front of you, and you have to stop her non-lethally somehow. You got to figure that out. You got to figure out how to not make him read your mind by taking the controller out and putting it in the second port, so the mind block gets between his connection to you. And it's just it does things that I don't think it has influenced things, but there's some things it does that I don't even think has been done since, because people aren't that bold to mess with a player that way.
All right. Well, I think you both have presented quite the argument against your villains. Both are very 90s. I will have to say. I think that the idea of a villain is, especially in a video game, is someone that you come across that you are like, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a fight, and it's going to be kind of unique and interesting. I think both of them have that based on your arguments. However, I do feel that Kenny gave a little bit of a stronger argument towards the kind of how manipulative and creative a game could be for a villain that could actually make it more menacing than what a traditional video game villain could be by messing with the actual player instead of just the video game player. I think he gave some really good arguments there. And for that, Kenny, Psycho
finally
Mantis,
win something.
Good job.
There you go.
Have to win something eventually.
Also the fact that a villain joins you in a group, I just can't consider a villain. I don't know.
Well, like I said, when
It
we
isn't
talked
until
about
later at the end of the game.
I think if the question was actually best villain of the 90s, I might have answered it differently than best boss fight of the 90s, which is what we were saying together in the text. I'm not sure. I might, actually, but I think it's kind of two different questions. But either way, I love Psycho Mantis.
Good job, Kenny.
Yeah,
He did
good
it.
Job, Kenny. Good job.
He did it. He finally won one.
Finally won something as the host.
As the host. I had to give him something. No, I think that just made the most amount of sense based on the arguments.
It does.
We get it. We can move on now.
It does get very convoluted in the story of Psycho Mantis. And actually, if you did kind of look into that story, the way it ties in when you see the young version of him in Metal Gear Solid 5, Tim, it's actually really cool. But I won't go into it.
No, yeah. I mean, I have not deep dived into individual storylines in the Metal Gear series. So sometime I might.
That's the thing about the games that aren't 5. You can't escape doing that. 5 is the only one that is pretty light on story. So
I really encourage you, though, Kenny, for sure, that you should really go through Chrono Trigger sometime, man. It's like I said, I just played it 2 years ago, I think, and it still holds up.
How long
it's
is
still
it?
An entertaining, fun game. I want to say if you just go straight through the storyline, probably 20 hours, 25. But if you do all the side stuff that you can do at the end of the game, it can be closer to like 35, 40. And all the side stuff is really well fleshed out and like fun to do.
I was going to
So-
say maybe I'll play Chrono Trigger if you play Metal Gear Solid.
The original Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Do it.
But then again, if Chrono Trigger is that long, maybe it
It's
would
an
be
RPG in the end.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe it would be more fair for you to play 1 and 2.
I
There's
will.
two-
I
I could
will
take that
argue.
bet, you know,
I
like, we
will
could-
argue that Metal Gear Solid 2 is actually better than Metal Gear Solid 1.
A lot of people say that. Metal Gear Solid 2 is a
am I going to have to watch a 12-minute long video on YouTube about Metal Gear Solid 1 before playing Metal Gear Solid 2?
No, because Metal Gear Solid 2, you're pretty much playing as not Snake in
Yeah.
that entirely. And I think Raiden
Oh, is that the
a more.
Raiden one or whatever?
I think Raiden is a more compelling character.
It's a crazy talk about like introducing the third wall breaky stuff. The whole point of that game and the whole story around it is insane. It's just like
I
it's
love it.
wild. Yeah.
I love it. That one is awesome.
Yeah, I'll start them up. You start up Chrono Trigger, I'll start that up.
All right, let's do it.
And our new segment called Game vs. Game.
Actually, I was thinking about that. Like, since the first episode that we recorded and stuff, I keep on playing games that'll be based on recommendations from you guys. At least trying them out, you know, and trying to go in that direction. Because I mean, you might end up discovering something about yourself that you didn't realize, and that's what I've kind of been on recently. That's the trip I've been on.
I think since you quit Death Stranding pretty early, there's just like a thing about Kojima that's so weird, but once it kind of clicks that the weirdness can be kind of neat, it's like it's so hard to explain because it's not like anything else.
I'm not off on. I don't
because-
have any problems with Kojima. I had a problem with Death Stranding. I didn't enjoy that game. I didn't enjoy the
Yeah.
gameplay of it. I loved Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, I was going
You
to
know
say,
me,
Tim
man. I've talked
is
about
all
this.
about Metal Gear Solid 5.
Jesus,
so,
I fucking
yeah.
adored that game, even with all its weird storyline shit.
True. I wonder how you ingested the story in that game without knowing any of the other stuff because it's like just a big prequel to everything else that happens, really. Okay, we are at the point where we have we could probably go for another 20 minutes or longer if you want to do a round of 20 questions. Ryan,
That sounds fun.
did you think
All
of a game
right.
for us to do?
All right, so I'm going to think of a game, and both Tim and Kenny are going to get 20 questions between the both of them to be able to try to answer what that game is. Very simple, just 20 questions.
And this is a co-op game. Tim and I
It
working
is
together.
a
Yeah.
co-op game.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
And basically, you guys can just, it doesn't go in any order. You guys just ask a question. I'll give you a yes or no answer.
Animal, vegetable, or mineral?
How about did this game come out after 2000?
No.
Is this a 90s game? Wait, don't say that. Don't answer that because that's pretty obvious, right? Unless it's an 80s game. It could be like an old one.
What is your question?
Is this a Nintendo game?
Yes.
Yeah, see, there you go.
So it could be NES or Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So do you
I guess
wanna
it could be 64. 64 came out in
Oh, you're right.
96.
Could yeah, I'm an idiot. So should we narrow that down? You think?
I think it'd probably be a good idea. Is it I mean, it's too specific to say Mario. So we say platformer? Is it a platformer?
Yes.
Is it a Super Nintendo game?
Yes.
Oh, awesome! A Super Nintendo platformer.
Does it have a green dinosaur in it?
Yes.
Is it Yoshi's Island?
No.
Damn it! So it's got to be Super Mario World, right?
You got it in 7, guys.
There we go.
Congratulations. Well, that was quick.
I thought you were going for a little tricky there.
All right.
Yes.
We'll throw a bit of a curveball here. So I'll do another one.
Okay.
And I just want to have the information up just in case.
Yeah,
All right.
we're not tied to going to 2 hours. By the way, we can do like 1 or 2.
We're
hours.
gonna go for 2 hours, Kenny. All
I
right.
don't know. We can just keep on going until we're bored, and I am not bored yet.
All right. Go ahead. Start this next round of 20 questions.
That was a good start. Did it come out after 2000?
No.
Wow, another older one. Go ahead, Kenny.
Is it a Nintendo game?
No.
Okay.
Well, then it's got to be. Is it a PlayStation game?
Yes.
Was it a PlayStation exclusive?
No.
Which means what? It could have been on Nintendo. It could have been on Xbox.
Correct,
The
yeah.
original Xbox, was that a '90s console? I can't remember.
I don't know. I was never an Xbox.
I can
guy,
answer
so-
that, but that'll be one of your questions.
Was Xbox a '90s console?
No.
Shit. Sorry, I wasted that one.
So it's probably PlayStation or
Was it a beat 'em up? No. Wait, don't answer that. Was it a hack and slash?
No.
is it an RPG?
No.
What else came out on the original PlayStation? Was it a shooter?
No. You're at 8 questions.
Let me think.
Was it a fighting game?
No.
Hold on. Was it one of these three: a platformer, a puzzle game, or a sports game?
So that would be 3 questions.
No. That's one question. It's a yes or no question.
That's not how this works, Kenny.
I think that's a pretty good question, personally.
That's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
I say,
I'm
is
not
it one of
gonna-
those three?
I will give you three points for that.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty good loophole, but I guess, Ryan, you're in charge,
Nope.
buddy. So
Okay.
Nope. One inquisitive question per
Okay.
question.
We didn't guess platformer this time, right?
No, but were there platformers on PlayStation?
Yeah.
Lest we forget about Croc.
Or Rayman, was that
Or
back then?
Yeah.
Or Bubsy.
Or yeah, I think there was a
Or Gex.
I think he's naming all the things that it's not, thankfully.
Well, clearly it was Conquer. No. Jeebus.
Okay,
Was
is this game played in first person?
No. That is 10 questions.
Does it have 3D graphics?
Yes.
You said it wasn't an RPG, right?
I cannot tell you.
So it's not first person.
We asked you if it was an RPG. What was the answer?
It was
You would
no.
have to remember.
He said no.
Hold on, let me go through my fucking recording real quick.
So
I'm gonna roll a wisdom check, see if I can remember it.
it's not first person.
Maybe it's a racing game. Was there, racing games were pretty big back then. Wasn't Gran Turismo like a big honking?
Could
That
ask him
piece
if
of
it's a
shit.
sports game.
Was it? Yeah, was it like a sports game which racing is included?
Yes.
Ah.
Wonder if it was Gran Turismo. Was it Gran Turismo?
Wait a minute. No.
No.
Don't. Okay.
No.
Sorry, I had to try.
Was it?
It was a sports game. So was it?
I'm
we
thinking
could
of
narrow
Jet
it down
Moto.
maybe if it was-
Jet Moto was.
What if
one
it
of the
was like
first
a
PlayStation games.
racing game? Was it okay? Was it a racing game?
I will give you a half
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I might know. I think I might
on
know.
that. Yes. No.
Was it a? Oh, he said yes to sports. That's
I don't
probably not
understand
right.
what the answer was when I asked if it was a racing game.
Both. Yes. It can be a racing game.
It can be a racing game. That's why I was thinking Twisted Metal, but I don't think he would have said yes to sports on Twisted Metal.
I think that makes sense. Twisted Metal, pretty good answer.
But that's not a sports game.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Oh, what about
I guess it's technically a shooter.
Road Rash?
Road Rash.
No.
Oh.
That is 15.
What was that one where people crashed into each other? Or he crashed cars into shit. What was that one called? Car
Crash-
crashing game.
There have been lots of those, haven't there? I don't know. I can't help but just think of that recent one, Destruction Derby All Stars or whatever it's called.
It was called something though. It was called like
I'm sure it was.
yeah. God.
Okay,
Was it-
we got
wait,
sports.
Hold on. Was it was Burnout? Was it Burnout? Was that the name of the PlayStation game? I'm asking Kenny, not Ryan.
Burnout Paradise?
Burnout. Was that it? It might not have been. Fuck. Okay. It was kind of a racing game, like half of a racing game.
We can just ask if it's like a car destruction game.
Yeah, it's a car destruction game.
No.
Not at all. So it couldn't have been Burnout because Burnout was a car destruction game, and Twisted Metal was a destruction game.
Oh wait. PlayStation.
We know it was a sports game that had
So-
racing in it, but it wasn't all racing.
A sports game. What's a sport that you can race sometimes in? Or wait. Is he saying that Madden is a you're racing sometimes?
I doubt it. I don't think so.
We could ask if it's a sport with a ball.
Is it a sport with a ball?
No.
We could ask if it's well. We could ask if there's multiple sports in it. Different.
How many
kinds of
questions do we have left?
Yeah, what are we at?
3.
We have
three
three questions
left.
left. Oh man. Fuck.
We could ask if it's one sport. That might
No.
help. No?
That's a terrible question. Was
It
there
might-
like a Phantom Menace game that was about racing pod racers or whatever? for
That's
PlayStation?
a good question. There's so many Star Wars game names floating around in my head, like Rogue Squadron. That's like a newer one, isn't it? Star Wars Pod Mania. Is this game based on a licensed property, like a movie, a TV show, or
Like an
something?
IP.
Yeah.
This is a tough one to answer. I'm going to say yes, based on a name.
Wait. Oh, how many questions do we have left?
We have like two.
2? Is this a skateboarding game?
Yes.
Is it Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
That is correct.
Oh, shit. Well
On the
done.
skin of your teeth. That is correct. Yeah, I didn't really quite know how to. I mean, and it honestly, Pro Skater may not have had actual racing. I can't remember if it did or not, but I believe it did have some racing.
Racing the
elements.
clock, I guess.
Yeah. But the intellectual property, like having that name, it's like, yeah, Tony Hawk technically is kind of a.
Yeah, I
Wow,
almost.
well done, Kenny.
So.
Yeah, I
Good
almost because I didn't think of it at first because I only remember Tony Hawk on 64. I guess it makes sense that it was on PlayStation 2. I just never saw it on PlayStation. I
It
don't think.
originally came out on PlayStation. You
That
want
makes
me to go
sense.
through it? So the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out on N-Gage. You guys remember that?
No.
Came on N-Gage, Nintendo 64.
It's like that stupid handheld thing they're putting all the fucking Zelda games on.
The N-Gage was Nokia's handheld video game console that came out way back when. Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, PlayStation, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color.
I always think of that Goldfinger song when I think of Tony Hawk. Was it Superman? I think.
Yep, that's the one right there. But yeah, no, that it originally came out on PlayStation.
Huh.
Did you play the recent Tony Hawk that came
Yeah,
out?
I have it. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
was
I
it-
love it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if a lot of these games are playing on my nostalgia, and that's fine. I'm down with that. I mean, even the new one has kind of a new kind of set of music for it, and it works really well.
Yeah.
With
I only played Tony Hawk. Played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 and Underground.
yeah, Underground was great. That
I
was
I remember
fantastic.
more than anything else. I remember the fucking music from these games were so good. Like they had like actual, musicians that you could play soundtrack. You could choose your genre of music that you wanted to listen to. It was like my introduction to like rap that I ended up liking a lot. Was it was like a whole bunch of the rap songs that were featured on Tony Hawk games. I was like, wow, this is really cool, and it made me go further down a rabbit hole of like discovering all kinds of like rap artists.
I think I learned a lot about punk rock when it came to playing Crazy Taxi. So that's pretty much
Well,
that.
Let's do let's do one more, and I'll do the game, and you guys can guess it, and this will be the last thing we do.
Oh,
How about
okay,
that?
cool. I'm in a game.
Oh, but now if you're gonna do one, I want to do one.
All right. Well, we got
Fine.
time.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's
Sweet.
both do one.
Okay.
I've got one. Let's
Sweet.
go.
All right.
All right. So 20 questions, right?
Yep.
All right. Is this game in the 90s?
Yes.
Oh, we narrowed down the decade very
That was
quickly.
good, yeah.
All right. That's good. All right. And we also all love the 90s games.
Uh,
All right.
Okay. Okay. It was a game from the 90s, or it could have been from the 80s. You
Do
know.
we want to ask if it was like a Nintendo game?
Yeah, let's go specific system though. I think SNES is a good like even middle of the road, but he might be thinking N6. Let's say N64. Was it an N64 game?
no.
Fuck.
Was it a?
I feel like I was just trying to guess whether somebody was going to put up.
Well,
rock, paper,
I
or
think
scissors.
it's better to just go like generic, like ask if it's a Nintendo game.
Well, now we know. We might as well just ask if it was NES or SNES at this point, because
Well, if it was 90s, I don't think it would be NES.
Fair. Wait, didn't SNES come out in like 92 or 93?
Do
I
we
think-
want to
Not
just
asking
ask?
Jenny.
Do we want to just ask if it was a Nintendo game?
Yeah. Let's say.
Was it a
Super
Nintendo
Let's just go
game?
with Super Nintendo. Let's just go with Super Nintendo.
No, wait,
And
hold
see
on.
where we end up.
Oh, all right. Was it a Super Nintendo game?
Yes, you can play this on Super Nintendo.
You can.
Was it Mortal
play
Kombat Ultimate 3? No. That might be it actually.
Wow, that was the answer.
I wonder
so,
if that was it.
So that means that probably the other console you could play it on was Genesis. Is my speculation on that. Was this a fighting game?
You would not classify this as a fighting game, no.
So maybe it was like a beat 'em up
Yeah.
or a
I
hack.
mean, do you want to?
Yeah, was it a beat 'em up?
No.
You would not classify it as
So
a
you
fighting
wouldn't
game. And it was
classify
also
it as
The only reason I was saying that is because you fight things in it.
Okay, gotcha. All
Yeah.
right.
So like an RPG maybe, or
Did we clarify that? Okay, so it definitely was on Super Nintendo, but it could have been on other systems. That's basically what he said.
well,
Okay.
he said it was on that in addition to.
So what was competing? What was a big deal to have on both Sega Genesis and
I mean, like
and Nintendo?
a lot of them were just like fighting games. I don't remember. I'm trying to think RPG style or
Was it a platformer?
Yes.
oh, okay.
Was it based on an IP?
No.
Okay. I think it's pretty good questions to ask, right?
So it's not an IP and it is a platformer. It probably was both on SNES and Genesis.
Makes
Unless they were he's talking about maybe like it was also on another Nintendo console like a Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or what have you.
You fight things, but it's not a fighting game.
Yeah, it's
It
is
it's not based on an IP. God damn, that makes it really difficult. Was it a comedy game?
I'd say yes.
It's a comedy game.
It's a comedy game. I think I want to ask if it was on Genesis as well, because I think that we need to
All
clarify.
right.
that.
Okay, go ahead.
Was this on Genesis as well?
Yes.
All right. So it was cross-platform in that sense. So
SNES, original IP, cross-platform. It's a comedy game.
he's
Platformer.
of course talking about the classic Booger Man.
What's a
right?
funny?
or Earthworm?
It's like
Jim.
Earthworm Jim. Yeah, it came to mind. Is it Earthworm Jim?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Good job.
Well done. Oh,
Holy
man.
crap!
I got to put in a sound effect for getting it right. It'll be something grand.
That's insane. How good we can get to that.
That was, yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, I think that was 7 6 or 7 questions.
Yeah.
That's about what we did on the first one.
Tim, when you do it, remember to start counting with your fingers because I forgot until we got to like 4.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I was
Okay.
counting with my fingers. Yeah.
All right, I've got one.
All right.
I've
right.
got one for you guys to try out.
Is it
Dude,
after 2000?
It is after 2000.
Okay,
All right.
wow, we actually got a game in the future. Do we want to ask if it was an Xbox game?
Why don't we go even further with the year and say after 2010? You want to do
Okay,
that?
yeah. Was
Okay.
it after 2010?
No.
All right,
Okay,
so we
there you
got a decade. Was it an Xbox game?
Yes.
Was this game cross-platform?
Cross-platform? What do you mean?
Was it on multiple platforms?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like one of the third-party IP.
So we need to nail down either Xbox or 360 generation, right?
Yeah,
Is it-
but
it's-
he's saying it's also. I mean, like it would be on like a PlayStation.
No, I know. I'm just
and
saying.
an Xbox.
I'm just saying. Aside from that,
Oh
we
yeah,
could- we could
yeah. Do you
determine the
want to
generation.
narrow it down to?
I think I can go ahead and give you this one because you said, is it Xbox? And I said yes.
so meaning original Xbox.
It was on Xbox.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's probably on Xbox and PlayStation
PlayStation 2.
2.
Yeah, Xbox and PS2.
You could ask if it's an open world.
Yeah, is it open world?
No.
Hmm.
All right, so it's not that. Is it a platformer?
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of like the Crash Bandicoots kind of did that.
It's not on Xbox though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Crash
yeah.
Bandicoot was on Xbox.
They did a bunch of cross-platform stuff. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot and
I thought they were Crash was like the face of PlayStation for a while.
for the original PlayStation.
Oh, I guess I didn't keep up with it much after the first one. Yeah, my platformer knowledge in that era is pretty limited. I think around the time of PS2.
Have there been sequels to this game?
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason around the time of PS2, I was not playing a lot of platformers. Is it a sci-fi game?
No.
Okay.
Do you play as an animal?
I was going to
No.
ask that.
No.
No.
Okay.
That's totally what I was going to ask.
Don't play as an animal, so you play as a human or an alien
or a robot, yeah.
or an alien. Yeah. Do you play as an
Oh.
alien?
No.
No.
Hmm.
All right. So
Sorry
Probably
for the
human.
delay. No, it's not even close. No, you don't play as an alien at all. Not in any way, shape, or form.
I think we could probably safely assume it's a human.
all right. So
Unless for some
You
weird
guys have
reason it's a
10
robot.
questions left.
a human platforming game that was on the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Should we ask if it's
2.
based on a license?
Yeah.
Is it based on a license?
Like, no.
Like a movie, TV show, comic book, anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like a human platformer, and it's really hard to think of those.
Do you shoot guns?
No.
Oh, how about like ninja game, like platforming ninjas?
I don't know if there's any like what platforming
From that era?
ninja game. Because when I think platformer, I think like Mario. So
Yeah, but I mean, there's a bunch of like 2D side scrolly games that are still considered platformers. Like, like the Messenger, ninja games like Kung Fu and things like that. So you don't shoot guns.
But it also has. Okay, how about this? Was there a sequel to this game that has been released on the latest consoles?
Good question.
I'm checking that answer now. No. Wait.
we could we
No.
could try to figure out what it is or wait. If you're not shooting a gun, we could try to figure out if you're even just killing or destroying things at all. Because if you're not, then you could just be.
I am really drawing a blank because platformers throwing me for a loop that's not involving an animal in that era.
I can throw a hint out there.
No, I think
It's not a dead giveaway or anything. It'll just kind of help direct you a little bit.
It's not sci-fi. So no alien.
Is it set in the past?
Yes. A
Oh.
past.
A past. And it's not based on a license. What is that game, Bonk, on the caveman? That's immediately what I thought about the past. Isn't that like a caveman game? I don't know how old that is.
Oh my god, I really hope he's not pulling stuff like that.
No, it's not that.
A past.
I guess, the past. A past. It's yeah.
Yeah, the
yes.
past in their own universe, I guess is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
exactly.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I am tempted to ask if it's a ninja game for some reason. How many questions do we have left?
You have 6 questions left.
I'm curious. Do you have powers in this game?
You have powers in this game.
Like supernatural? Or
I'm gonna stick with powers.
anything superhuman?
Actually, you know what? Yes. In fact, there's a relatively very significant power that you have. Amongst other like minor abilities that probably could be called powers.
Well,
But
we
one
know
in
that
particular, one very, very important big power.
I don't know if that's helping me, but I did just think we know it's on Xbox and PS2, but would knowing if it was also on like GameCube help us maybe? Maybe it was something that came out on everything?
Well, the fact that we know it's cross-platform, I'm not worried about if it's on GameCube. I'm just trying to think. The platformer one is giving me a loop. It's throwing me for a loop here.
I'm just going to ask, is it a ninja game?
No.
Damn it.
But that was tough to say no to because it feels like one, but it's not.
Of course, it's Ninja Gaiden. All right. Anyways, moving on. No,
This is tough. All right. Well,
You got four questions left.
4 questions. I'll have to edit out a lot of this.
Okay, let's try to narrow down the year then.
The first
That's not
half
gonna help you.
Did
probably
Go a
this
different route.
did this come out before 2004?
Yes.
All right, so it's 2000 and 2004. So we're narrowing it down to pretty much like
an early 2000s game.
early 2000s
The
game.
platformer was on Xbox and PS2. You don't shoot things. It feels like you're playing a ninja game, but you're not. So that makes me think like Double Dragon or something, but like you know what I mean? Like you're going around.
But it's not a beat 'em up. Double Dragon's a beat 'em up. It's
Yeah.
not platform. Like the platformer's the one part that is really throwing me off.
Ready for a hint? You got 3 questions left, and I'll happily give you a tiny hint.
All right, let's
Fine,
take the
yeah,
hint.
let's take it.
Yeah.
It is 50% platformer, and when I say 50%, I mean half of this game is a platformer, and the other half of this game is not a platformer. It's another genre. And when I say 50%, I mean like it keeps on splitting back and forth between those two things.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like ActRaiser all day, but
It
like,
makes me
that's
think
not
like
what
you're
it
going
is.
like it makes me picture like going over an overworld and doing something overhead, and then you get to places where you go in and do like platformy stuff or something like that. But most of those overworld type games, you don't do that much in the overworlds, I guess. But apparently there's...
That hint actually confused me further.
How about...
Yeah. Go ahead, Kenny. Just throw it out.
Is the part that's not a platformer in first person?
No.
Damn it.
Oh, we probably should have asked if it was a third person or a first person.
Well, I don't think
platform.
you could say yes to platformer in first person, really.
Yeah, there may have been a few. I don't know.
Doom Eternal.
Was this a well-received game? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It reached 2 million copies sold by the end of the year it came out.
Why am I dumb?
It's going to be something really obvious. It's going to be something really obvious.
It's just probably something you haven't thought about in a long time.
Yeah.
But there were sequels to it.
There were sequels and there was prequels.
Sequels and prequels.
But it's a platformer.
We could ask if it's the first one.
It'll be our last question, then we have to answer. But it will probably be the first one.
We could ask if it's a Japanese developer. We could ask. I think.
Is this an American game? Like made in
Jesus.
America? Is this was the people developers who made this? Was it in America?
It's not gonna help.
Well, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I'll go further. North America for sure.
Okay. So that.
It eliminates a lot of developers for sure, but
yeah, it gets rid of the Japanese kind of.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys one more question, and then I'll both give you a guess. I'll give you both a guess.
one more question each.
Yeah. Sure. Fuck it. Why not? One more question each, and then one guess each.
I thought that's what you said. Okay.
Was well received. That's the thing. Okay, why am I not thinking of a platformer that was well received in the original Xbox from 2004 to 2000 to 2004 that was also on the PS2?
Based in the past.
Based on the past. Like
not a ninja game, but goddamn is it close.
What's close to a ninja?
The answer.
That's the
answer.
Is this game, are you playing as a samurai?
No.
Are you
not that close? Not that close.
Are you playing as what's like a ninja where you punch and kick maybe, but you're not a ninja? You're just a warrior kind of in the past.
Go further west.
In the past, I don't know. I'm never going to get this.
Yeah, I'm
I think you can reveal it. We've had a lot of wins today.
Yeah,
it's fine.
we're drawing a blank.
Okay, well, the answer was Prince of Persia. The same
Son of a bitch! See, I had no idea. I would have not known that game was like half platform and half something else.
Oh yeah, that game was literally like there were sections of it that was all platforming, and there was a section of it that was all hack and slash, and that was the game. Like you went back and forth between the two of those, and that was like the entirety of the game.
I actually didn't play any Prince of Persias other than the one that was, I think it was Sega or Super Nintendo. It was a really good game.
That.
No, Sands of Time was great. It was, I don't know why I blanked on that.
Incredible, man.
I don't know why I blanked on that one. That was a really good one. Yeah,
I remember that was like one of the first games I played where the combat like really amped up and like kept on getting more and more challenging. You know, so by the time you were halfway through the game, you had to really like feel the game and like know all your abilities and moves. And then once you were finally done with it, you got to have like a cool platforming section where you jump from place to place and cross monkey bars and open up puzzles and traps and stuff.
Yeah. No, it was I think I was trying to think if it was, I guess that game was on PS2 as well, because I remember it coming out on Xbox.
According to Wikipedia, it was on Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox, and Windows.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think I would have ever gotten it. No, but yeah, that's a good one. Well played, Tim. We'll cut this out from the final final product of this podcast.
I'll definitely cut out a lot of us sitting there thinking, but it'll sound like a free-flowing nice little thing.
Yep. 20 questions is always entertaining for any listener.
Well, I think we have had a fantastic episode today.
Yeah.
Lots of. I finally won something, so that's fantastic to me.
There you go. You can put that in your pocket.
All right, everyone. E3 is over. We are excited for the games that are coming, and we are excited to play more of our own games next week on The Leetist. Everyone say goodbye-byes.
Goodbye, byes.
Cue the music. TheLeetistPod at gmail.com, at TheLeetist on Twitter. Send us debate topics, trivia questions, anything you want to hear on the show. We'll try to do it for you. Catch us next week. Peace outside.